Welcome to the theater, pal. You know, I'm a big fan of TNA movies. Sumo is a big fan of TNA movies. And I don't mean, of course, trucks and aardvarks. You know what I mean when I say TNA. Today we're talking about the film Vice Academy 2. Or in Spanish you would say Vice Academy 2. I'd be lying if I said Sumo was impressed with this one. This may be the shortest review I've ever done for Master Chaos Theater, but to be honest, there's not much to say about Vice Academy 2. And I'm shocked, because maybe I shouldn't be shocked, seeing the kind of quality filmmaking that happens, especially back in the day. Low-budget filmmaking wasn't necessarily known for its quality. I did enjoy the first one, and the second one, unfortunately, there's not much to write home about with this one. It's very, very small scale, which is, I think, probably the most surprising thing for me. You would imagine with a sequel, they want to maybe up it up a little bit, up the stakes, not necessarily get more money in, because I know how low-budget filmmaking works. And what I mean by small scale is that this movie has two locations, the police station and the strip club / bar that our film's villain, Spanish Fly, hangs out. That's sort of her lair / place of business, and that's where her henchmen and her hench strippers hang out. So two locations, believe it or not, and that they flip-flop back and forth between them. This is the kind of movie that has barely any plot and could have been solved in 30 minutes. They know where the bad guy is. Sumo doesn't want me to tell you the plot. He says it's not worth your time. I'm just going to briefly give it to you. I'm sorry, Sumo, but I have to. Vice Academy 2, what is it about? Well, in this iteration, Linnea and Ginger return to their respective roles. Nobody else does. None of Linnea's friends return, and they're not even mentioned, which I thought was kind of odd because they felt like such a huge part of part one. But they don't come back. Shawnee and the guy whose name I still can't remember, they don't return, which is kind of a shame. But we do finally get Linnea and Ginger teaming up, kind of. They have sort of they have a rivalry, but they do team up because apparently they're the only two vice cops on the force. It's very strange. And then the other person who does return is sort of the Vice Academy instructor, the lady, very funny actress. Anyway, they're not technically in a Vice Academy anymore, so we sort of have a police academy situation here where they've graduated and now they are actually cops on the beat solving crimes, as it were. And we get a early attack on the police station by a Australian lady who goes by the name Spanish Fly. And I guess her mission is to put deadly Spanish Fly, which, for those of you who don't know, is sort of like an aphrodisiac kind of thing. I don't even know if it's a real thing. I think it's sort of an urban legend. I don't know I haven't looked into the Spanish Fly phenomenon. I have a feeling it's sort of just an urban legend type of deal. Anyway, she's gonna put Spanish Fly in the water supply and make everybody horny, and then they're gonna get horny to death or something like that. And of course, the Vice Academy is on the case. They have to track down Spanish Fly, and they know where she is. She's in a strip club, but they don't. They go there and they try to infiltrate it, but then they don't get the jobs as bookkeepers. They thought they were going to go get jobs as strippers, but it's bookkeepers. Ha ha ha! Very funny. It doesn't work out, and then they go back to the police station, and then we basically eat shit for about an hour, and then the typical third act happens, and they storm the strip club, and we get what we expect from a typical finale in these kinds of movies. Now, I do want to mention a very strange, late in the game plot point that shows up out of nowhere. They introduce a robot, a bimbo cop, which is, I mean, at first I thought it was a dude as well, but no, it's a lady. It's just a very, very masculine, muscular lady who plays this RoboCop-like character, so dumb, who I guess is just a new member of the Force. Now, the problem with that character is, in the third act, Bimbo Cop takes all the arrests. She takes all the credit, she does all the action, and Linnea and Ginger's character just kind of sit around and let Bimbo Cop sort of, take the spotlight, which is kind of dumb. I mean, these are your lead actresses, and they do nothing. I mean, the first one is Citizen Kane compared to this one. They basically sit around, or they tell jokes, or they deal with this kind of like sexist, horny cop guy who wants to get them fired because women don't belong in the police force. And their big plan, I guess, to get him on their side is to have sex with him. That seems off-brand and sort of off-topic and almost like a step back from what they're trying to do, trying to make it look like women belong in the police force, and you're gonna fuck the guy? I don't know, that seems odd to me. It's a very odd script. Not that the first one was perfect, but this is a really bad script. Just almost plotless and meandering, and almost like they made it up as they went along. That's kind of what it feels like. They're just kind of making it up as they go along. Oh, wouldn't it be funny? RoboCop just came out. Why don't we do like a RoboCop thing? Oh yeah, a RoboCop, like a sexy RoboCop. Okay, great. And then there's so much time is spent on that bimbo cop character, and it's just like, wait, we have a plot here. We have to deal with this villain who's gonna like sex up the world or whatever. Let's stop her, not mess around with trying to get laid with this cop guy or have funny antics with bimbo cop. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's not a good movie. Yeah, you're right, Sumo. I know. What was I expecting? The movie's called Vice Academy 2. I know. Yeah, I did say I love TNA movies. Would I consider this movie a TNA movie? Nah, dude, I wouldn't. I would not. As a matter of fact, there's only 3 nude scenes, and they all happen in the strip club, and they're very brief and almost goofy in nature, so they're not necessarily tantalizing or exciting. There's one scene, probably the best actress in the film is one of Spanish Fly's strippers, and she undresses a couple times, and she does an amazing job, fantastic job. She does a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. As a matter of fact, I'm giving the movie an extra star just for her. And Linnea and Ginger, who are known for their nudity, only appear one time in the film undressed, and that is towards the end of the movie, when they decide to re-infiltrate the club as strippers and just hit the stage and start going crazy. But it's more in a kind of a goofy, silly way, which I guess is in keeping with the movie. These aren't supposed to be serious films. I get it, but I don't know. I think they kind of undersell the fact that you have, 2 of the prettiest actresses of the time who are known for a certain thing, and then when you kind of don't deliver on that, it's disappointing. I don't want to belabor the point. Sumo here wants to give it 0 stars, and I understand that completely. However, I'm going to be a little more generous because it's an example of its time. This is a movie that sort of exists in a bubble of time. Of course, if they made this movie nowadays, it would be complete garbage. But because it exists in a sort of rarefied air of the 80s, I think I have to be a little more lenient with it. It's supposed to be a silly, fun comedy. You're supposed to be enjoying it. You're not supposed to be really deconstructing it too much. However, art is art. It is subjective. So you have to, of course, let your opinions in every once in a while, because that's how we interpret film. So Sumo's going to go with 0 stars. I'm going to give it 2 stars. 2 stars, and of course one of them goes for the very wonderful actress who we get to see a couple times. She's just fantastic. Let's not belabor the point. Vice Academy 2 was disappointing. I am very sorry. This is, of course, VSA number 3B. So keep that in mind. We've got Vice Academy 3 waiting in the wings for next time on Master Chaos Theater. I'm hoping for a better film. Now, Linnea will not be there. She leaves after part 2. We have a new actress joining the Vice Academy franchise, and from what I understand, she becomes the linchpin of the series, and she continues on for the rest of the films, which is great. I'm looking forward to meeting her. I know Ginger sticks around for one more movie as well. I'm excited to see it. I'm hoping for good things. I'm hoping for more action, more boobage, and a more cohesive plot. But maybe I'm asking for too much. We shall see. Well, pal, the theater's about to close. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. My name is Master Chaos, and I want to be your best YouTube buddy. If you like reviews on obscure horror, sci-fi, TNA, genre, bizarre flicks, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Okay, my dude, that's it. I'm going to pull the curtain over on the silver screen here, and I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this look at Vice Academy 2. Have you seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're here, please leave me a couple thumbs up. That really helps. Not a couple, because you can only really leave me one. But yeah, leave me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that if you enjoyed this review and it added value and entertainment to your life. Until we meet again, pal, I wish you a very pleasant good day, good evening, or good night, wherever you are. I have been your friendly neighborhood master, Chaos, and you have been entertained.